everyone! Welcome back to Read and Roam, the channel where we explore text and how it fits into our lives. I just found out that our city museum is opening up some brand new exhibits. So let's check out the website and decide which one to go to first. Since I already have a ton of questions about the exhibits, this is the perfect time to talk about why it's important for readers to ask and answer questions about a text. Let's get started. You might be thinking, B, I already know how to ask questions. And you're right. But did you know questions help you understand a text better? Good readers ask and answer questions to dig deeper, clear up tricky parts, and make reading more fun. We can ask questions before, during, and after reading to make sure we really understand the information. Let me show you how. Good readers ask questions using the 5 W's and H. That's who, what, when, where, why, and how. Before reading, we ask questions to get our minds ready for new information and help us engage with what we're about to read. We can do this by looking at the title and pictures, thinking about what we already know, and making a prediction, which is a good guess about something that will happen. This exhibit is called The Wonders of Exploring Space. Right away, I'm asking myself, what kinds of wonders will we see? The pictures show an astronaut and Earth from space. Will we learn about planets? Space shuttles? I want to know more. Now, let's think about what we already know about the topic. I know astronauts have traveled to space. That makes me wonder, why do people explore space? I also like to predict before reading. I think this exhibit will show us how space is being explored. I'm excited to learn more. Now that we've asked questions before reading, let's get into the text. During reading, we ask questions to help us understand the text. We can use the 5 W's and H to help us ask questions about things that confuse us or make us curious. Normally, we might ask these questions in our head, but I'll say mine out loud so you can hear how I think while I read. For years, astronauts have traveled beyond Earth to explore space. What helps astronauts survive once they make it to space? They use rockets, space stations, and protective spacesuits to survive in the extreme conditions beyond our planet. Scientists also send robots and satellites to study distant planets and stars. Why do scientists send robots instead of people? These places might be too far away and dangerous to send astronauts to. Space exploration has led to many discoveries and inventions we use every day. What kinds of discoveries and inventions? Materials from astronaut spacesuits help make firefighter gear, and satellites in space help us predict the weather on Earth. Today, scientists are working on new missions that could one day send astronauts to Mars, pushing space exploration farther than ever before. When do scientists think humans will make it to Mars? Whoa, that was interesting. I certainly had a lot of questions. Now, let's see if they got answered. What we're looking for now is text evidence, the sentences or words from the text that prove the answer to a question. I'll underline the text evidence we find. My first question was, what helps astronauts survive in space? The answer was here: rockets, space stations, and spacesuits. What about my second question? Why do scientists send robots instead of people? Can you spot the answer? Here it is. Some places are too dangerous for astronauts. Another question I had was what kinds of discoveries and inventions space exploration has led to. The text tells us about firefighter gear and satellites that predict weather. What about my last question? When do scientists think humans will make it to Mars? So most of my questions were answered in the text, but this one wasn't. And that's okay. After reading, we figure out which questions were answered and what we still want to know. Not every question will be answered in the text. Some might require us to look up the answer somewhere else or think deeper to find the answer based on what we know. In this case, the exhibit might even answer my question. After we read, we also need to ask ourselves a big question. Did I understand what I just read? If the answer is yes, we can move on to thinking deeper or going after our unanswered questions. If the answer is no, it's probably time to read the text again to see if that helps us understand it better. It's a great practice to reread a text to build knowledge and skills in understanding. It's also great practice to ask meaningful questions because not all questions are equally helpful. Some help us dig deeper into a topic, while others are too simple to really help us learn. For example, let's look at these two questions. What color are spacesuits? And why do astronauts need spacesuits? Pause here to record which question you think is more meaningful and why. This first question has a short, simple answer and doesn't help us understand much about the bigger picture of space exploration. But this question can help us understand more about space and why spacesuits matter. Good readers focus on questions that help us understand the main idea, not just small details. Now that you've seen how to ask and answer questions, it's time for you to try. We'll take a look at another exhibit, and I'll guide you through asking your own questions. Here's the next exhibit announcement. It's called The Secrets of Sharks. Pause here to ask questions and make a prediction in your materials before we read the text. Great! Now let's read the text. While we read, pause the video as needed to record any questions you have. I'll also show you good moments where you can pause and think. Sharks have lived in the oceans for millions of years. There are more than 500 types of sharks, and each one has special ways to stay alive. Great white sharks swim in open water to hunt for food, while hammerhead sharks use their wide heads to find fish that are hiding. Sharks are very important for the ocean. They help keep the number of fish balanced, which is good for the environment. Scientists study sharks to learn more about how they live and why some types are disappearing. Learning about sharks can help us protect them and keep the ocean healthy. If you had some questions you didn't have a chance to record while we read, pause to record those now. Lastly, it's time to check if your questions got answered and think about any you still have. Find the answers to your questions and underline the text evidence. Pause here to record your responses. Nice work! Today we learned that good readers ask and answer questions before, during, and after reading. Asking questions can help you understand a text better, and they make reading more exciting. Next time you read, try asking questions and looking for answers. Check your lesson materials to explore the last exhibit and decide which one you would want to see most. I can't wait to visit the museum! Remember, where there are words, there's a world to explore. See you next time. Hey, hey.